Shout out to Obag. Obag, you missed the reunion last night. We had a great reunion, okay? We had Real Thing in here. Jerome made an appearance from I don't know HVAC Universe. It was great. I mean, we had Benji, we had Brooklyn, we had Callie, we had Ali in here, and the chat was really popping. All right, I hope you had a good day, old bag. So let's get into this. I did not watch today. I'm exhausted, you guys. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I'm not gonna sleep. I got about 3 or 4 hours sleep. I forgot to take my melatonin last night, and I was just up, literally just up. And around 1 a.m., I had to get up and actually take the melatonin because I just could not fall asleep. So yeah, I'm tired. Oh shoot. Forgot to email Zeta School. I'll do it in a little bit. All right, so it appears as though there was no court today. They're going over jury instructions, it seems like. But I'll catch up. I'll play this and let me just catch up in the background.
Defendants indicate.
Hold on.
Expert witness. Any objection to that from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Hold on. Who's
The
this?
state's email this morning?
We did. That's what we're.
I have a couple
State's email.
revisions based on what they said, but also one thing I need you guys to address is I did 404, 4.04, the justification self-defense instruction, and on looking through the instructions again, I don't know if 4.05 is more appropriate because that's the one that deals with deadly physical force.
It would be.
So why don't you guys talk about
Is that
that?
Lori?
And yeah, I'll give you a
Or the
few more minutes.
prosecution?
We can, yeah, we're off the record.
All right, we're gonna go into Karen Reed in a little bit because today's what, Thursday? I believe they had motions yesterday. I was gonna wait until Sunday. We're still gonna talk about Karen Reed on Sunday, but they have a pretty short video which we probably can get into. What is she wearing?
Arizona versus the jury is not present. This is the time set to discuss the final jury instructions. Let me
Okay.
confirm with the defendant that is it still your intention to not put on any evidence?
What on earth, Lori? Lori, wait. What? Lori, who's advising you? Lori should have gone. I guess it's over. It's over. It's over. Us waiting for a real showdown, but it's over. What's up, Benji? What's up, Cali girl? Okay. Oh, so Old Bag was laughing at that. Those text messages were in heat. Okay. They were in heat. Okay. Old Bag. Probably not. I don't remember. I think we did though. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, but hold on. Lori has me so concerned.
For State of Arizona versus Lori Daybell, the state is present, the defense is present, the jury is not present. This is the time set to discuss the final jury instructions. Let me confirm with the defendant that is it still your intention to not put on any evidence?
Right now, Your Honor. Yes.
Lori, who advised you to do? Who advised you? Who advised you? If you are going with self-defense, I mean, it's not required, but your chances of an acquittal or hung jury are better served if you actually do put somebody on. I mean, who could you put on? Put your mother on, or some I don't know, mother. The mother sounds a little iffy based on the based on the communications. You need to put somebody. I hope you don't take the stand, Lori.
As
Well-
of this morning, I mean.
Well, do you anticipate that changing?
No.
All right.
Lori. What is she doing? Why didn't you just keep your attorneys? Well,
because that does affect how these instructions
What on earth?
will be read to the jury. So for now, we're assuming you're not putting on
Is
any
something else.
evidence.
I believe we listened to part of the cross. Okay, so Benji said it's not over. I heard that Lori could decide as late as Monday. If she gets on the stand, it's definitely over. I mean, it's over right now. It's over right now. If she gets on the stand, it is definitely right now. It's just over. When she gets on that stand, if she gets on that stand, it's going to be very chaotic. Then why on earth? I hate guilty pleas, but I don't know. All right, Lori. All right. Yeah, that's going to be chaotic. Lori as a witness. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Okay, old bag said she couldn't subpoena anybody. I mean, put your mother on there. Put somebody, your mom, the Burger King employee, the drive-through employee, or subpoena the custodians of the surveillance that handed over the surveillance footage. Deuce. Even what's the daycare or the school? Lindsay's, Linda's. I think it was with an L. The school that she had to drop JJ off at, and they had to go into Walgreens to get some flip flops. They should have done something. Oh my goodness. Old bag says, Old bag says, Lori, get on the stage. Get on the stage. It's a safe place here. Lori, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we can go back. We can go back. All right, let's see.
Let's just go through page by page. I think it's probably the
What
easiest way
on
to do it. On
earth? Hold on, man. Lori, what are you doing? Shoot, this case is probably over by next week then. I thought it was gonna go for I think they had anticipated 3 to 5 weeks or something along those
cover
lines.
page, I did correct. I had
Ah, Lori.
2001 instead of 2021, and I corrected the case
She's
number.
something else.
The first instruction
Lori.
at the top, page 2, duty of jury evidence to be considered and rulings of the court. These are standard instructions in Arizona. I'm assuming there's no objection to those from the state,
No objection.
from the defense?
On page 2?
Yes.
No, no objection.
Okay.
All right. Then on page 3, I did remove the stipulations because I don't think there were any stipulations. So on page 3, direct and circumstantial evidence, production of witnesses and evidence.
I suppose it's good that this case is coming to an end and we can just move on to Karen Reed. So I suppose it works out. But Lori.
Redacted exhibits, those are standard. Any objection to those from the state?
Your Honor, I did object to the production of witness and evidence.
I
Oh,
wanna hear
okay.
about that
So
because
Old
that's
Bag said everybody was basically dodging dodging the server, so they did not want to be served. I don't blame them. Yeah, so it's over. It's over. And I suppose the jury is not going to need that much time, but it's definitely over.
standard given when we
What
have
on
a
earth,
situation
Lori?
where we've heard
I
about
mean, here's the thing though. Why didn't she subpoena what's a Vallow guy? Chad? She could have subpoenaed Chad he probably gets up here and, talks about how they off the kids and never mind. That's not safe.
people like
Don't
JJ,
do that.
Tylee, Alex Cox, we've
Hold on.
heard about. That's a standard given when we have a situation where we've heard about people like JJ, Tylee, Alex Cox, we've heard about Summer, we've heard about Detective Moffett. None of those people were called at trial. So I think this instruction simply says that neither side is required to call, basically everyone
Okay,
that's mentioned in the evidence.
Yes, as long as the defendant is okay with it. Obviously, I've not seen that previously included in an instruction. My concern was the burden shifting potentially, saying that neither side is required. And that seems to imply or in opposition of the fact that the defendant need not present anyone anyways, ever. That's my
I
concern.
mean, they're not obligated to.
All right, before we talk about that one, let me hear from the defendant. Any objection to the direct and circumstantial evidence and then the redacted exhibits on that page?
No, those are
Lori.
fine. Your
Okay,
Honor.
what are your thoughts on the production of witnesses and evidence?
I tend to agree with the prosecutor, but
That it
What?
shouldn't be in there?
correct.
Well, if the parties are
Dude,
stipulating,
you don't have a lot of conviction in your voice. You sound a little wavery. Like, can you sound like you have some form of authority or
that
something?
it's not in there, I'll remove it. Is that the case?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Obag says even the cops in the case did a better job than Karen's cops. Yeah, that for sure.
Yes, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
I
All
know
right,
that
that's by the
Chad's in.
stipulation of the
I
parties.
know that Chad's in prison, but Lori, in this position, you have to put somebody on. She had to go get herself the Swiss Army knife 12E. That's what she needs. She needs a 12E. She needs somebody to get on the stand and just say something, regardless of how bogus it is. Get somebody from Planet People, whatever the sect was. Call somebody, put somebody on the stand. You just have to put somebody on the stand. That's not you, obviously. Oh, Lori, don't get on the stand. Lori, don't get on the stand. Uh, Lori's stressing me out. She definitely stressed me out the first day, and today she's really, really stressing me out.
Okay, so I'll
Really.
remove that
What on earth?
instruction. I probably should have brought my hard copy because you guys are working off a hard copy on my computer. This is kind of maybe paginate different. So now my next ones are indictment is not.
Get somebody on there. I don't know if it would be a great opportunity for them to see each other. I think I would have thought, and I mean, he was mentioned in the text messages, so they could, give us another role play. They can give us, who was it? James, and Elena, or was it Eleanor? Somebody, but this is so chaotic.
Evidence, self-represented defendant, any objection to those
Woo!
from the state?
Oh, bag. Come
From the
on now,
defense?
play nice.
All right, then on
Yeah.
the comments are not evidence. The reason I,
Callie, I agree. He cannot be trusted. He has nothing to lose. So, What's up, Fever? No. Fever Chad is, oh, there we go. Old bag already answered. Yeah. I thought he's the fourth husband, old bag. I don't know. Oh, apparently her cheek to cheek, loin to loin fire. It was electricity and what? Energy or so I don't know. What's up, Fever? This is so chaotic.
highlighted that as it was to alert everyone that I did change the language in that a little bit because the defendant's self-represented. It mirrors what I did in the opening, what I read to the jury before opening statements, more or less, in changing it from the attorneys to the prosecutor and the defendant talk to you about the law and the evidence. Are there any objections to that instruction from the state,
Not as changed, no, Your Honor.
from the defendant?
No, it's good.
All right, then we have credibility of witnesses, and
Okay.
on my page 4 is testimony of law enforcement officers, but that might be on your page 5. Any objection to those two from the state
No, Your Honor.
defense?
No objection to the ones that are in there.
All right, then we have expert witness. Any objection to that from the state,
No, Your Honor.
from the defense?
Nope.
All right,
You
based
said
on
nope.
the defendant's indication that she's not going to be presenting evidence, I
What's
would remove
this?
defendant's testimony. I would keep in defendant need not testify, and I would remove defendant witness prior
Lori,
conviction
what was
if
the
that remains the
strategy?
case. So any objection to that from the state,
No, Your Honor.
from the defendant?
Nope, no objection.
All right.
Hmm.
Can we add in there something?
What's
Is this
that?
the time to ask to add something in there?
Go ahead.
The standard 19, the defendant statement voluntary.
Voluntariness of defendant statements.
She's switching up words and everything.
That probably should be in there. What's the state?
Look at Lori go.
I will add that.
Look at Lori go. She's been reading.
I'll add that right after defendant need not testify.
She has been reading. All right, Lori.
Just making a note. All right, then we have jury not to consider penalty. Any objection to that from the state?
No,
Defense?
nope.
All right, the state emailed this morning. I think the state wants.
How
the
much more do they
alternative
have?
Presumption of innocence, burden of proof in the Raji's. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
You want to make a record on that?
Your Honor, the current version the court has in here
We'll
discusses
skip
the
this
various
in a little bit.
levels of the burden of proof for preponderance and clear and convincing, which
back
are not
something
relevant
else.
to this case law is very clear.
Lori definitely had a lot of husbands. That's what I said. I guess she just enjoyed being married, or maybe, I don't know, maybe she doesn't like being by herself, or she needs support. Maybe she needs a provider. A provider. Yeah, she's done a lot of yeah.
Under Portillo,
No
the court
judgment.
is only required to present the Portillo
All
instruction,
right,
which
so
is partially
Feva's doing good. He said, same old, same old. I'm all right. A little tired. A little tired. I could use some sleep, but no complaints. I'm glad tomorrow's Friday. I'm really glad tomorrow's Friday. All right, let's go.
on the next page in my hard copy.
Let's fast forward. Hold on.
Um,
Because we can hear these jury
Go
instructions.
out probably May.
I guess we'll go to cross. We've not listened to
In
all
any
the
case,
cross.
that's all I'm asking, Your Honor. You can do as you will.
Hold on.
Trial. And you,
What does she want?
15th of June, so.
no, May.
May.
I'm sorry, of May. Jurors through the 15th of June, so.
No, May.
May.
I'm sorry, of May. So we had,
What is she writing?
We screened for 6 weeks and we did it in 2.
I understand, but I guess I don't see that as twice as long as this screening.
We had 21 trial days scheduled in this first trial, and
Okay.
you did it in 7.
What is a prosecution? I guess they're resting.
We had 28 days scheduled in the other one. In any case, that's all I'm asking, Your Honor. You can do as you wish. That's my.
I guess
My
Lori's
proposal-
she's getting ready for
We
round
can
2.
confirm it on the May 14th.
All right, let's
wanna make a
go
record
back
'cause I am gonna
to
exclude.
let's go back to yesterday. Not
We're gonna
even
probably-
there was a specific witness that Olbag wanted me to listen to. I believe it was let's think. Oh, this is Angelique Livia, whatever her name is. I thought she was on Court TV, but okay. We have Karen Reed. But let's find the witness. Today's what, Thursday? I think it was Tuesday.
I don't know when
Here we
you
go. Yep. It was this witness. I believe I wanted to. Isn't that the testimony?
You're on
we
the
wanted to-
curb, is that correct?
He was the first time I noticed him, yes.
What's up, Allie?
And you also stated that an
What
adult female and Tylee were
are
already
you smoking, Fever?
across the street when you arrived?
No,
It's something
Oh, we weren't
else.
there yet.
no.
Okay. How long after you arrived did we arrive?
I don't know when you arrived. I
What on
just became
earth?
aware of you at some point. I didn't,
What, the country's out of chickens? Like, really? That's crazy. I mean, you could sell ducks. Somebody would actually buy the eggs. Even turkey. I don't know what turkey eggs taste like, but can make you some money. Callie says she's surprised she was still in the Mormon church because, they're not fans of divorce. I did not know that. Okay. I did not know that. Okay. Old Bag says no judgment. All right, old bag. All right. Is Lori? I suppose she did try. She tried a little bit.
Not see you arrive.
Lori should have gone with an attorney because I thought she was actually going to put on a case, and now we have nothing but the prosecution's case.
You were not there when I got there, but at some point you got there and I became aware of you outside.
Okay.
I don't know. Is this the witness we had to return to? I don't remember. I think it's her though. But I think let's get into actual testimony. Cause no, that's the insurance agent. Never mind. I got a little too excited. It's okay. Who was she cross-examining? I did not see this. Hold on. Maybe I did.
Not at all. He was in agreement of my results.
No,
When you talk
never
about the
mind. That this was. I remember him. It's you guys know I'm chaotic. Just hanging there. When I scheduled this, I thought we're actually gonna have a trial date or a trial day, but they were busy with jury instructions.
You're about to get will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I'm exhausted. Sheesh. Let's see. Ooh. A divorce, it saves you from a lot. Because Lori, honestly, what? I have so many questions. I'm gonna leave her alone though, because Lori, no. Yeah, you should get them, old bag. Send me some.
you please introduce yourself to the jury?
There's no way you're getting that tattoo. I'm not even in the West Coast or wherever it is that you are, the Midwest, wherever you are. You're not getting that, old bag.
My name's Cassandra Incline.
Listen. If you get that tattoo, your husband has to be very, very concerned. Okay.
I'm a detective with the Chandler Police Department in our robbery homicide unit.
I think we watched a
Can
bit of
you
this.
tell us
no?
about your career with the Chandler Police Department?
So next week, I will have 24 years at the department.
Ooh,
Started in patrol,
pension.
graduated through the Phoenix Police Academy. I have no prior, all my experiences with Chandler.
Okay.
Started in patrol. I worked there a couple years and then was selected to move into a newer unit they created, which was more of a general investigations unit. Worked assaults, burglaries, thefts, kind of entry-level detective type cases. We had a reorganization I'd been in that unit about a year and a half, and that unit morphed into our family violence unit. So at that point, my cases became primarily physical child abuse cases, some missing person type cases, and then the majority was
A lot of talking. Take a
domestic
breath.
violence, assaults, aggravated assaults, things like that. Worked in that unit for a couple years and then moved into our narcotics and organized crime unit and worked in that unit for about 5 years, doing primarily large scale narcotics investigations. In September of 2009, I was selected and moved into our
That's a
robbery
lot
and
of
homicide
talking.
unit. And I've been in that unit since September of 2009, where I am now.
As part of your job, are you called out to respond to scenes?
Yes.
And what are your normal working hours?
So we work 4 10s, so 4 10-hour shifts a week. There are 6 people in our unit. So I am one of the 3 that works Tuesday to Fridays, and then the other half of our unit works Monday to Thursdays. But there is one detective in our unit that's on call all the time. And then depending on the scale of the case, the on-call is responsible for being available to come in off hours. But depending on the scale of the case, they'll call in additional detectives to help, sometimes supplementing from other
Let's
units
see.
within the department, depending on the case.
Were you working on Thursday, July 11th?
Really, Fiva? Why do you say that? I mean, maybe she just likes variety. I don't know. Maybe she likes, a little something, something every once in a while.
11th of 2019?
I was.
And where were you located? Where's your office?
So my office is at our main precinct, which is in downtown
That's
Chandler.
funny.
But that day I was not in the office. I was driving to kind of a community event that was in West Chandler.
Were you asked to respond to a scene at 5531 South Four Peaks Place in Chandler, Maricopa County, Arizona?
I was.
I'm sorry, distracted.
Why were you asked to respond to that house?
So I had initially heard some radio traffic about a potential shooting that had happened there. And then, so I was aware of the call
Potential.
for service that was going on that patrol had responded to. And then I was contacted by my supervisor shortly thereafter by phone because I wasn't in the station. And they had asked that myself and several detectives respond down to assume that investigation from patrol.
Do you recall approximately when you arrived at that house?
I believe it was right around 9:28, 9:30 is my arrival time on CAD, but it would have been within a couple minutes of that, depending on how significant the radio traffic was that I could get out onto the radio.
In 2019, as a detective, did you have body-worn camera assigned to you?
We did
Oh, I
not.
want to see it.
So you were not wearing
Oh, they didn't.
a body
Never
cam
mind.
unit at that time?
No, we did not get ours issued until I believe a couple years later.
Okay. Can you describe for us the crime scene when you arrived?
So when I arrived in the neighborhood, it's a gated community. I arrived on the north side of where the residence was. Marked patrol units and uniformed patrol officers were there. There was already yellow crime scene,
Tape.
about a house or two north and a house or two south. And I could see several of the
She does a lot
initial
of talking.
patrol officers that had responded that were present when I got there.
When you got there, was the fire engine still there?
I believe they were, but there was what we call our care unit, our CR 288 is the crisis unit. They're a fire personnel, but they respond out to our scenes at our request as well.
I'm
so that was
sorry.
there.
I'm looking.
Correct.
I'm distracted. I'm going to put my phone
Um,
down. All right,
Did
let's
you
see what's
observe
going on.
any individuals that you
Ooh.
learned to be the shooter at the scene?
Hold back. I've said it before. Okay. The average person in America gets married at least twice. Okay. So you're kind of behind.
I did, Alex Cox.
Can you describe where you saw him?
So when I approached the house, I was walking south towards the house.
I mean, it could be a lot for some people, but Lori was probably just getting started. So, yeah, that is kind of a lot. That is kind of a lot.
He was seated on a curb. I remember there being like a trash can or something right there.
And here's the thing, Fiva. Listen, if you don't have anybody, if you are not pursuing a relationship, or at least in Lori's case, she would not be sending all those steamy hot shower messages. Like, yes, every once in a while, people need excitement in their lives now.
And Officer Krautheim was outside. And I remember seeing him sitting there as I walked past up to a supervisor at the scene.
And can you describe for us the demeanor of this
Everybody wants what Fiva is smoking.
Alex Cox when you went by him?
He was sitting on the curb, didn't really appear, just kind of normal, wasn't really agitated or upset. He had what looked like, I think it was a paper towel or Kleenex in his hand. And at one point he reached back and kind of touched the back of his head. But he was just seated, just kind of sitting there.
Did you observe yourself any injuries at that time to his head?
I did not. I didn't have contact with him at the scene at all.
Okay.
When you arrive at a scene like that as a detective, what's sort of the process of, what does everyone do when you get there?
So initially what we try is that the first one or two investigative type personnel usually will make immediate contact with the supervisor on scene, usually a sergeant or a lieutenant,
Okay.
and try to just kind of do a quick assessment or triage
I
of
did
what's
my
going
laundry
on.
earlier, you guys.
What is kind of the quick initial what
I'm
happened?
gonna wash my bed sheets
Is
tomorrow,
anybody
but
outstanding? What are kind of the
I
things
got
we need to
started
do?
early.
Because then as personnel from like my unit and other investigative units arrive, we can start assigning tasks and roles. We always, by practice, assign a case agent, and then a scene agent is separate. And then any other personnel that get there start assigning tasks, what needs to be done, what needs to happen.
Does a lot of talking.
So what is the, like, roles of a detective versus the patrol officers who've been there?
So patrol officers are going to be your first responders. They are going to be the ones that dispatch when you call 911 or the non-emergency number. Patrol is going to come to your house first. They're the uniformed in
Yeah,
a
we don't
marked
want
patrol
them here.
car. They're going to respond out and do the initial investigation, initial scene safety, initial first aid, until it's safe for fire to get there. They're going to be your initial first responders. If the call or event or incident that they're responding to is going to be more significant or more serious, or maybe needs more specialized equipment or investigation, or potentially
I'm sorry.
they
Sorry,
might need
guys.
a search warrant, then you're going to see where detectives are going to
It's okay.
get called out to assume an investigation from patrol. So there will be some overlap. And then once we come out and kind of take the investigation over,
Beaver's
patrol
funny.
then gets released from the event. And
What's up, real
it will
big?
become kind of property of the detectives that come out to assume the case.
Do you have patrol officers still helping
Yes, I'm
things like
funny.
securing the scene and making sure that, you know, no one is just running up into the house or something?
Yeah, Allie, I'm trying to switch up my schedule a little bit. So I'm not doing too much on Friday at night. So I've started doing my laundry on Thursday after work. And then I just fold my laundry. I fold some more on Friday. And then I still have to wash my bed sheets, but at least I'm not up too late.
Absolutely.
While you were on scene, did you notice any other civilians kind of waiting around?
Yes.
Who did you notice?
At one point, I realized that where Officer Krautheim was standing, basically across from the
That is
house, it
something
was within
else.
the crime scene, that an adult female, Lori Vallow, and then her daughter, Tylee, had at some point got there. I'm not sure exactly when,
Dang,
but
I don't even want to convert, but that sounds so much cheaper than US dollars.
realized that they were standing in the vicinity of Officer Krautheim within the crime scene near a red car.
Did you see the
All
interaction
right, real thing had a good day. That's fantastic.
between Officer Krautheim
Damn.
and these two, Lori Vallow and Tylee?
I did from across the street.
At least something else.
Um,
Girl,
When you saw that
trying
interaction,
to
did
do
you
some
know
stuff here.
who they were at that point?
I did not know who they were. I found out.
Yeah, I'm considering, hopefully I get to it though. I think I should be ironing all my outfits on Sunday. I don't know. I never know what I'm going to wear. So we'll see.
Short
We'll
time
see.
later.
So did Officer Krautheim advise you and other detectives who they were?
Yes.
So you said the
Which
female
send me the
was Lori Vallow?
timestamp.
Correct.
That's what I thought. This is the witness with the videos. No. Oh, bag, you let me play this woman the whole time. So it must have been from the day before. Because that's what I was looking for. I wonder why they always show the outside of this courtroom. That's who I was looking for. This was what I cannot even see 3 days ago. So we need to find 4 days ago. All right. I really cannot see that 7 days. No. So would it be 7 days ago? I don't know. That's what I'm going to play. Let me know if this is it. Look at that girl. Look at that girl, Big Lori. Oh no, this is no, that's not Nancy Joe. That's
You were asked a
Barb.
lot about taking an oath. Do you take that seriously?
Yes, I do.
Is everything that you told the jury here today the truth to the
Oh,
best of your
that
knowledge?
To the best of my
where
memory and
which
knowledge.
video
yes.
is it?
So when you don't remember something, you've been asked to try to guess. You don't remember how long something is, but you're not making up things in here.
I'm trying not to. I'm trying to
Trying
go
not
from my best
to.
memory.
Girl.
It's been 6 years since you attended these meetings, correct?
Correct.
So you don't remember the number
Preparing
of
a
phone
people.
calls that you and Lori had 6 years ago?
Oh, Bag,
No,
I'm
not
waiting
at
on
all.
you.
You didn't keep tally marks of them through your days, put them on your nightstand so you could remember it later?
No.
How about the text messages? You tally those up for you so later
Oh,
on?
Bag, I cannot find it. So this is day 4. Was it day 5? I don't think it was day 5. We just went through day 5, I think. It was not yesterday, that's for sure. Or maybe it could have been yesterday. I just don't remember. I just don't. No, it cannot be yesterday because yesterday were text messages. I mean, I don't mind reading out those text messages, but wait, they had more? Hold on, they had more text messages, I think. Hold on.
Through your investigation,
I'm a little too
as we've
nosy
heard
for
in
my
court,
own
was
good.
a name that Lori had associated or given to Charles Vallow.
Yes.
Is it?
In Exhibit 225, are these messages in the Lori Force Style iCloud account between Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox, where
Ooh.
they're talking about Ned?
Yes, they are.
Was the first time that you found that reference to Ned from
I hope things are well with you, real thing.
February 15th of 2019 from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow?
Yes, it is.
And is that where we see
Afiva said Lori. Afiva said Lori's a trip. She knows she's finished, but she's gonna fight. That's how you have to do it. Okay? You have to fight. You have to fight. You cannot surrender. You cannot surrender to the
Alex saying that
prosecution.
Ned was at the temple yesterday looking for you? He thinks
What?
you are staying with me.
These people were gone. These people were, they were, what? Yeah, they were gone. Mm.
Correct.
And so again, we see the source is the Lori for Style, correct?
Yes.
And we see two.
I know somebody in this world has sent emails to that iCloud account. I just know it.
This is Lori Vallow's iCloud account, correct? And that's the number that we have associated with her.
What on earth? So Ned just came by and Ty Lee unleashed on him. He came to my house and he went to Summers first. He ran up in a rental. I thought, isn't Ned supposed to be the creature or demon that possessed the husband?
Her with T-Mobile,
Yes.
and then Alex Cox's Verizon record.
Correct.
What on earth?
During your investigation on
Oh,
February
Bag, I'm still waiting for you.
15th of 2019, is this the time period where Lori Vallow had disappeared and was no longer in contact with Charles Vallow?
Yes.
Is this the time period where
Misleading them.
Charles had JJ by himself?
Yes.
And do we see then Lori Vallow saying, that's good that he is so off, I guess?
Yes.
The next time we see the reference to Ned is that in March 2nd of 2019, again from Alex Cox to Lori Vallow.
Yes.
And does he advise Ned just came by and Tylee unleashed on him? He came to my
That's
house and
crazy.
he went to Summers first. He ran up in a rental car.
Correct.
But they were gone.
So again, your understanding is from this investigation, from testimony at court, that Ned was Charles.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Ned is Charles. All right. So why did apparently Tylee and Charles actually did not get along? So I suppose she's gonna unleash on the
Now,
man.
again, we talk about, there was a time period when Lori is, both we've heard in Hawaii
That's crazy.
and in Idaho, correct?
Correct.
That is
Do
crazy.
we also see Alex trying to get Lori Vallow's new address?
Yes.
And
Okay.
she gives him a lollytimeforever@gmail.com, correct?
Correct.
So that's another address that she had.
Yes.
Now, we heard, again, Ned being associated to Charles. Do we have a text message on March 26th of 2019 from Alex to Lori saying, Ned is still alive, just confirmed?
Correct.
This next message, is that from Lori Vallow to Alex?
Yes.
And it says, it's not Ned, right?
Correct.
What?
So it's not even a he, it's. And then we have another message, it's a new one, Ned is gone.
Correct.
So is this
What?
around the time where we've heard of that girls'
Hold on.
weekend?
Let me read this
Yes.
stuff by myself because you're not reading everything. Hold on. I guess there's
Where
nothing
they
else to
were
read.
trying to cast out the evil spirit in Charles?
Correct.
Ma'am, can you please show everything?
As you continued in this Lori for style, do we see again Lori texting Alex saying, no one has seen him, right? Just talk to him.
Correct.
And then Alex says, correct, Charles' body is alive,
No,
right?
they were gone. These people were gone.
Yes.
What?
So in your investigation and through the testimony here at trial, have you heard people indicate that?
How do you have more than one person? I can see one individual of the family losing it, but everybody else, I guess that's what cults are made of. But
Charles's body was possessed by an evil spirit.
I have.
And they're trying to cast out this evil spirit.
Yes.
So here we see that it's not Charles is alive, it's Charles's body's alive.
right.
Correct.
Does Alex then respond to Lori, what did you learn?
About what?
Yeah. Yes.
That one's from Alex to Lori.
Correct.
And then does she respond,
Ma'am, can you please stop bleeding?
a lot, still working on it, we'll call you later.
That's correct.
What?
When you went through a lot of these records, did you see a lot of reference to telling people to call her?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, we don't have those recordings, right?
Correct.
And so would you often see calls then in the phone records to match up with a request to call?
Yes.
Prosecutor testified through and through.
Going back to the Lolly Time iCloud account, was that account created on July 1st of 2019?
It was.
Okay, so what, 12 days before
Was that created after
the incident?
Charles Vallow contacted Lori and Chad Daybell and Tammy Daybell about the affair?
It was.
Wait, go back. What?
After that account created, back to the Lolly Time iCloud account, was that account created on July 1st of 2019?
It was.
Was that created after Charles Vallow contacted Lori and Chad Daybell and Tammy Daybell about the affair?
Wait. Hold on. Wait. So Chad was married to somebody else at the same time?
It was.
When you were going through those Lolly Time at iCloud account records, did you find
wonder.
evidence or find photographs in the Lolly Time at iCloud account showing the change in Charles's beneficiary form for his life insurance?
I did.
Did you see both a photograph of a computer as well as of documents?
Yes.
Okay.
I show defense 232.
Dang, they're using her own evidence against her. I'll be right there, folks. I'm sending emails, so.
I can have my paralegal approach with 232.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, this is when we get into the mushy stuff?
Do you recognize both the report and the photos that were obtained or part of the records for the lollytime at icloud.com account that was obtained through a search warrant by the police department?
Yes.
Let's see.
State would move to admit Exhibit 232.
Where did Old Bag go?
Any objection?
No objection.
232.
Where did Old Bag go? Because I was waiting for the videos. I just cannot find the video. But hold on.
And if I may publish.
All right, let's
So
see.
again, when you are going through these iCloud accounts, just like with the
Okay.
cell phone extractions,
Yeah, this
are you
stuff
able to
is
sort of pull
these are some wild. They have to make a movie about Lori. Ain't no way. Tubi or somebody needs to come through. They're just
out reports
I guess these folks just really enjoy being married.
and save the documents themselves, both in the report and then print off those documents?
Yes.
So looking at this Exhibit 232, we see
Or go
all that's
something
from the
else.
Lolly Time at iCloud account, right?
Correct.
And then we see that on July
Yeah, Lori should have stuck with a real lawyer because she made a mess out of what could have been a decent case.
8th, that these photographs were sent to a phone number 515-402-0143 with a contact name of Bubby.
I do.
Who?
Now let's first go through these records, and then we'll talk about the phone number, okay?
Okay.
So what we see here are sort of the thumbnails. Are these the actual photographs associated or sent in each of these messages?
Yes, they are.
So we see these are MMS messages, meaning there's a photo associated with it.
Yes.
So
People
one
still
of the
send
photos
those.
associated with it was this Banner Life Insurance. Oops, I'm sorry, we're too close. Banner Life Insurance policy for Charles Vallow, correct?
Correct.
Old Bag, are you back in here?
Showing Lori Vallow as the primary beneficiary.
Yes.
And then there was a photograph or of the document showing again $1 million policy.
We'll give this another 8-10 minutes and then we're going to switch over to Karen Reed. Karen Reed's going to be short though, because we're going to talk about her at length on Sunday. But I do actually want to see, apparently it was a heated exchange between defense and prosecution. So
See,
Yes.
we might as well use Karen Reed to fill that void.
started in 2015. And the owner insured are Charles Vallow.
Yes.
Then was there a photo of a computer screen?
There is.
And were you able to tell, because you see sort of the icons that you would see at the bottom of a computer screen in this,
Correct.
and a little bit of a glare on it? And this, is this the designation form that was changed by Charles Vallow that we had talked about previously in court?
Yes,
And so this is a photograph of the computer showing that Charles Vallow in fact changed this to Ethel K. Woodcock.
that is correct.
So on July 28th, Lori Vallow is sending copies of this to someone she calls Bubby.
Yes,
Now, did you guys
Who's
want to
that?
find out who Bubby was?
absolutely.
Ooh, he's happy. Who
Did
was it?
you
Was it
actually
Chad?
obtain a search warrant to get those phone records from AT&T
Was it Chad?
for 515-402-0143?
All right,
Yes,
come on
I
now.
did.
Was it Chad?
I can have my paralegal approach with Exhibit 223.
Answer the question. Suspense is killing me. Who was it? Who was it?
Do you see in there, first, an affidavit from AT&T authenticating those records for the
Never mind.
515
Lay
number?
Foundation.
Yes.
Got it.
A thumb drive that contains all of the records that were sent,
Yes,
as well as some of the subscriber information and records.
yes,
Now,
Uh-oh.
obviously, contact names are just
I'm
contact
sorry,
names.
guys. I keep
Were
clicking
you
on this
able to
thing.
determine who
I don't know how.
this number was associated with?
yes.
How?
Once again, looking through the content of the messages that we saw, via either photographs sending back and forth or just written content. This person was found to be Chad Daybell. In addition to that, we received a audio recording
That is just. I have so many questions
from a
about
local
Lori's
business
personal
in
life.
which Chad
or her
contacted this
romantic life.
business and listed this as his phone number.
So this 515 number, there's a recording of Chad Daybell using this phone number to contact a business.
Yes,
And then the context of the messages that you see in this iCloud account with the contact Bubby confirmed
How
that
did they
this was
meet?
in fact Chad Daybell.
Apart from
Yes.
the obvious,
State
through
will
the
move to
church.
admit Exhibit 223.
Any objection?
No objection.
223.
Lori, you need to be objecting.
So on July 28th of 2019, Lori Vallow is sending photographs of the life insurance
That's
policy,
crazy.
original and the change
That's
to Chad
crazy.
Daybell.
yes,
That is true, Allie.
As you were going through this iCloud account, the Lolly time, did you go through many, many, many text messages?
Yeah, Lori's definitely gone. There's no question
yes, I
about
did.
that.
Did you note text messages between Lori Vallow and her brother Alex Cox that were saved in that Lolly Time account?
Yes,
As you were going through those text messages, did you note Lori Vallow giving her brother the new address of 5531 South Four Peaks Place?
I did.
Did you see the messages leading up to July 11th? For instance, one on July 9th, talking about being like Nephi?
I did.
Did you see text messages
Can you stop
between
leaving
them
and
even
Lori?
out to
I mean, it's in the
August
past.
12th, where Lori Vallow talks about going to Social Security?
Yes,
And in these text messages, as you looked at these two conversing, did you see text messages talking about other people being Z's, just the letter, because of their association with Charles?
yes,
I'm going to show Defense Exhibit 227. Now, these messages in this iCloud account that are in this report, are these all of the messages that they had?
No,
Are these just a portion of them?
they are.
It's ready.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm done.
And if actually, can I have my paralegal approach with 227?
Go ahead.
Looking at Exhibit 227, are those just that portion of the SMS messages between Lori Vallow and Alex Cox that were saved on the Lolly time at iCloud?
Yeah, Lori is definitely gone. There's no question about that. But again, I think I said this last night. I believe the reason why she chose to represent herself is because her attorneys probably wanted to go with the insanity defense, and she's not. She is not going for that.
Account that we've discussed there. Sort of
Yes, they
leading
are.
up to.
All right, let's switch over to Karen Reed. Hold on, because they're just. I don't want to have to deal with those text messages again. So let's see. Why is this thing so slow? So Karen Reed. I think it's law and crime trials or something. Law and crime. Let's just go with that. Might be on here. Let's see. It might be on here. Video. No. Video's not live. Let's see. It's somewhere on my phone. I have too many tabs. I'm getting distracted. Now I'm looking at everything else. I guess it's the other. Guess it's the other law and crime. Never mind. I thought it was this law and crime trials, though. Now I'm getting distracted. Who said what? No, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted. All right, hold on, folks. Hang in there with me. Hang in there. Must have been on here.
Mr. Albert, this is not,
No, that's
this
not it.
process is not.
I don't know how we got there, but might be. Is this law and crime? There's so many sub law and crime videos. Not videos. I mean channels. They created. I saw something else. They have something about celebrities and some other stuff. I guess they're working though. So do your thing, people. All right. I have it somewhere on my phone. Hold on. Let me find. I'm quickly going to go through my open tabs. I have a lot of them, though. Let's see. Karen Reed. Ooh. No, that's Lori. It was somewhere in here. Hold on. Let me search for it on my phone. Wasn't the hearing yesterday or the day before? Yeah, it is on Law and Crime Network. So why? Yeah, this is Law and Crime Network. And this should be a video. So it says 1 day ago. And they have 78,000 views. Dang, you guys uploaded all of this in 1 day? I'm slacking. It says 1 day ago. I just cannot see it. That's crazy. Why can I not see it? All right, so it says hearing, Karen Reed. All right. Draw MAV Karen Reed. Why can I not find it on here? Yeah, it's a day ago. Am I tripping? No, we want the shortened video. Where's the 78? I don't know what's going on. So why is this what I'm seeing on here, but on my phone? Never mind. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. It's on law and crime trials. It's on law and crime trials. There we go. All right. Said a day ago. So videos. Come on. Okay, help me find it, folks. There we go. Sheesh. That's a lot. It's a lot of fumbling.
Experiments or come to.
Yeah, let's go here. All right. There we go. Bev signed.
So, Mr. Jackson, you're saying that the ACRA witnesses did not do anything, did not read anything, did not consult anything, did not try any.
So Callie has an explanation for us. So Callie's basically saying that she refused the insanity defense and also refused for the lawyers to blame everything on her boyfriend. I suppose that makes sense, but I suspected that she refused the insanity defense because she does not think she's crazy. But yeah. This would have been a decent case, but she's just I don't know, she's not there. All right. Okay, Allie was trying to help me out. Allie was trying to help me out. And Fever's talking about core TV. All right, I found it though. It's 17 minutes, so we can definitely get through it. Okay, is this my internet? What's going on?
Additional experiments or come to any findings other than everything that's in that report?
That is correct. That's what we've been told. We have no reason to believe otherwise. Everything that they did, everything they were asked to do, and all the data that they were provided upon which to base their opinions and conclusions is provided in the report.
Where's
and that
Turtle
was
Boy?
all subject to cross-examination, both at the voir dire and at trial.
All right, and then subsequent to that, information was provided by Mr. Yannetti. And you have that all documented, whatever information the ACRA authorities now are working on is information provided by Mr. Yannetti or his file?
So there's two issues. I want to make sure I don't conflate these.
Okay.
Mr. Brennan mentioned a subpoena
Something's going
that
on.
Mr. Yannetti had received at his office.
Mr. Yannetti had brought it up in open court.
Correct. That subpoena was honored as we had.
I'm sorry, you guys. Every time I see Jackson, I cannot stand him anymore. I don't see him in he's left an unsavory taste in my mouth. I just can't do it.
Mr. Yannetti had to honor it.
Can't do it.
For every single NOD that we got from the Commonwealth, that was then
I'm not his mom, but I'm
submitted
very
to
disappointed
the
in
federal
him.
authorities.
When was that done?
It was done periodically since the subpoena came into his desk.
When did it start?
I don't remember the date. September 1st, 2022.
Thank you.
I didn't remember the specific date, but it was very
just
early
gave
on.
the date.
So the Department of Justice or the U.S. Attorney's Office was receiving information pursuant to that subpoena in an ongoing basis. But I want to make clear that's not information that was then going to ARCA. The U.S. Attorney's Office decided.
Why is it something's going on? I have 1,000 apps. I cannot close my tabs. Can't do it. Yeah, I cannot close my tabs. So I do not know if it shouldn't be the Wi-Fi. I cannot close my tabs though. I have to go through them. So
And the FBI decided what information to supply to ARCA to answer their questions.
Do you know what information was provided?
Yes, it's in the report. There were 14 categories of items that were provided to ARCA, and they said that's all that we were provided.
All right, so then it's accurate to say items that are in the notices of discovery that ARCA does not list were not provided to them?
Correct. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, they were provided a very narrow, it was a narrow scope
I need
of
to watch
work,
this
if you
whole thing to
will,
know
that
where,
did not include the myriad things that we were getting
to
in
know what they're getting
All
NODs.
at.
right, then
from
you
September of
started
2022.
providing them information to fill in those gaps, right?
Once we received information from Dr. Welcher, for instance, we knew that we wanted at least to explore the idea of rebutting some of that information, from a biomechanic standpoint, and we wanted them to have basically a mirror image of what Dr. Welcher was
Where's the
providing.
heated
All right, so
pump
when
that's
did you
what
do,
we
for
provided to them.
exchange?
when did you do that?
I want to say March 26th or 27th. I think it's in the motion. Just take a quick look.
Okay.
Additional discovery for the experts for their review on March 26th, 2025. That same day, the defense was provided all the additional materials.
Luigi
to
has
our
been
deck,
indicted on
including
federal
Dr. Welch's
charges, so
reports and all of
oh
his
no.
findings, including the 140-page
No?
PowerPoint, et cetera. We wanted them to have everything that Dr. Welcher had, as well as Dr. Welcher's reports and findings.
All right, and you say that you will have that, you expect in the next 3 days or so.
Oh,
You
I
said-
didn't say 3 days. I said, I think we can count it in days, not weeks. So I would expect if there is something that we're going to receive, it's probably in the next week or 10 days, I would guess.
All right.
We are acting as efficiently as we possibly can, but we can only do so much, given the fact that we were only provided access to hire ARCA on March 26th.
All right, Mr. Brennan, I'll hear you.
Okay. What is the thing?
This is the
I knew he'd have a tag. I knew he'd have a tag. I was waiting for him. Okay, come on, Brandon. He always starts off like, I don't know, he has a lot of one-liners. He must have been a poet in his past life. I just knew he had a tag. All right, come on.
This is the very issue I've been concerned about since the beginning of this case. And I've made every effort to alert the court that I had a concern, in fact, that I anticipated this very thing would happen.
Okay.
When I began this case, beginning of October, end of September, my first analysis was of the past history of this case and dropping experts and information during trial.
Right.
My attempt was never to preclude ARC from testifying, never. But it was to preclude the defense from trying this case by ambush. And it was my primary concern. And that is why I filed motions from the beginning of this case. Your Honor must remember, I was filing notices of intention.
Okay, so Dad, he's heating up a little bit. These folks don't even want to look at Brennan.
Notices anticipating things that are not routine because I knew this very thing would happen.
Okay.
We had ARCA witnesses where I still do not believe we have had full disclosure. Regardless of whose fault it is, I still do not believe we have full disclosure. Not just for the basis of opinion, but regarding communications between the defense and ARCA. That's why I filed this motion for discovery. And when the defense responds it's not in their possession of control, that's why these ARCA witnesses who've made representations to this court about not knowing the defense and the limited interaction with the defense, they need to be held accountable. That information should come directly from the ARCA witnesses if the defense can't or won't produce it.
Okay.
I believe there will be information that ARCA has if you order them to bring in all of their communications, email, phone call records, billing, and text messages. And if it exists, I would like to see it. I think I'm entitled. The ARCA witnesses provided a report that blurs the roles of the parties. I can live with that. I can accept that.
Okay.
The ARCA witnesses provide a report that does not have a lot of information about their study and notes. I can accept that because I have prepared for it.
I don't know. They're all turned out. They're all turned up over here. Like, look at her face. And I don't know what she has going on, but they're all turned up. They have their noses turned up in Brandon.
But what I haven't prepared for is for the defense to wait until the last minute, then move for a tour request, which they know will take time.
Hold on. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on with the connection, but you guys have to bear with me, please.
Then provide information to ARCA on the
Do they have any black court officers in this courtroom? I've not seen any.
eve of opening
But
statements.
then again, this is just one courtroom. Or maybe
And then
that's what I'm
expect to
looking
come
at.
in with new opinions and information reports after we've already given an opening statement. It's not only trial by ambush. It not only takes away the Commonwealth's ability and right to prepare, it creates a disadvantage.
Look at her.
That information and
I'm sorry. These people are cracking me up.
argument is already made to the jury without complete information that they should have had. They could have retained any expert they wanted. They didn't have to wait for ARCA witnesses. They've had 3 years. They could have retained any accident reconstructionists they wanted.
Look at her.
But they waited. They moved with
Who
a
is
TUI
he?
letter on February 7th, 2025.
The father does not even want to look at Brandon. They're just, they do
Anybody
not
with
want to
experience,
pay any
including the
mind.
defense, knows it takes time. If they really wanted the ARCA witnesses, they could have moved in November. We gave Judd Welch's CV in November. We met our discovery deadlines, and they were hard. There was more we would have done or wanted to do, but we couldn't because we honored our obligations to the court and the discovery order.
I don't know. Something's going on with my connection.
We provided the discovery pursuant to the orders so that they would be held to the same standard. And now we hear they waited until February 7th, 2025 for a tour request. And now they're giving new information to ARCA to come back and potentially give new opinions that we have no ability for our experts to evaluate. We have no ability for our experts to then go through and conduct more testing.
Ali, they should have definitely proceeded here. These are last minute because I already had my what is this? I had my title planned out for Sunday, but I think these are 11th hour panic motions, or if not, then it must be a strategy that, I mean, we've seen this with other defense attorneys. We've seen it with Joe Tacopina. We've seen how dirty he plays. So that's what they're doing here. And then as far as real thing, so Jackson he pretty much violated candor to the court. He specifically lied about having retained the expert witnesses in this case when he did. And to me, the reason why it's unforgivable is because it's a very stupid reason to lie to the court. Attorneys hire experts all the time, and experts, people say they're impartial. Experts are not impartial. Okay, we hire experts all the time. I do not see the reason why he chose to lie about something that could potentially have been insignificant. In any event, he lied. It was discovered that he lied, and then he was, bloodshot red for a few days in court, I guess, out of embarrassment. But I just do not like the fact that he lied to the court. I understand zealous representation, but to straight out lie about something you have no business lying about, I'll be curious to know if somebody pursues disciplinary proceedings after this case concludes. And the biggest problem is that he risked the potential of him being taken off the case. He risked derailing the client's case by being dishonest with the court. All right, enough ranting. So Real Thing says all the pretrial motions are finally over. Judge Babe gave her rulings in writing. Don't tell me yet. Don't tell me yet. In writing today, a news trial starts on next Tuesday. Yeah, don't tell me yet. That's what we're focusing on Sunday. All right, let's see. Definitely shout out to all the public defenders and Max Shard and Real Thing and Fever And apparently Ellie's giving me a shout out too. I think I already said hello to Jerome. Okay, Fiva said he's had a few public defenders and they were lit. Listen, public defenders are awesome. All right. They are badass. Badass. All right. Let's see. Where's Jerome? Okay, so he's just getting Jerome, I need help with my HVAC. Something's going on. I had a busy day, but I did my laundry, so that's always a good day. Ooh, okay, so so Real Thing said there are no black people out there in that part of Boston. I understand. I understand. If we go back to what was it? I think it was the Boston bus boycotts and everything else. So okay. They the people in the background, they have something going on. Uh Real Thing, I do not know that they completely exonerated Karen Reed, because in the communications between these experts and what's his name and Alan Jackson, there's a specific text or email where the expert pretty much just said that whatever it is that you want us to say, we will say. And that's why, listen, we hire experts all the time. And experts, there's some experts that allow us to make amendments to their reports. And obviously, if they agree with the amendments, they keep them. If they don't, then they take them out. But experts are not impartial. Experts, pretty much, here's the thing. Why would Karen Reed's defense take on experts that would not give testimony that's in line with their theory? It wouldn't happen. They would not call them. Again, they will have to go back. I never wrote down the timestamps, but there is a specific conversation between Akkad and I wanted to say Steele. That's not his name. And Jackson, where pretty much this witness says that whatever it is that you guys want us to put in here, that's what we'll testify to. And that's when they talked about the payments and the like, which is what Jackson lied about. Okay, so Fiva said he's really breaking it down. Yeah, you cannot lie to the court as an attorney. You can. That's not something you do. I don't respect that. All right, so Jerome loves us. Jerome loves us. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Dang, Allie's just shouting everybody out. They did not exonerate. They did not exonerate Karen Reed. And again, that's what I just, from an attorney perspective, I just know how experts work. Experts, as much as people want to say that they're impartial, or maybe in theory they're supposed to be impartial, that is not how. That is not how. That's not how it works in practice. And this is somebody that has to hire experts on almost every case that I have. And for there's one doctor. There's one doctor. We do not retain her anymore. And that's because she does not allow amendments to her reports. And even then, she does not call the office before the final report. What I mean by that is draft reports are not discoverable. Typically, what the experts do is this is practice. Oftentimes they call the attorneys to discuss the draft report, because once it becomes final, then it's discoverable. But she would not even give you a heads up of what she's going to put in there, so you just don't use her. But experts in theory are not impartial. Okay, so Jerome said shout out to Olbag and Benji. I don't see them, but I'm late. Olbag was definitely here. She disappeared though. And Benji was in here. I don't know if he's still in the background or not. And then Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn's not been here tonight, so he's probably parenting.
The core of preparing for the case, they had that obligation. And so now to allow them
I'm
to do
sorry,
this,
she's really killing me. She is killing me.
It's not an aberration. This is a continued pattern from the last trial. They
Okay.
have their ARCA witnesses, they have their report. That is all pursuant to the discovery deadlines. To now let them change the rules.
And that's the other thing as well. I've said this in the what's his name? ASAP Rocky trial. I've said this before. I comply with my discovery deadlines. So because I comply with my discovery deadlines, I expect opposing counsel to do the same. I just don't like it when people play dirty. Like if you're gonna get a conviction or an acquittal, you need to play fair.
Come in tomorrow, the next day, or 10 days from now and have new opinions after we've already
I
told
wonder what these parents discuss when they get home. Like what do they talk about?
the jury our theory and our science
What
and not
time is
have
it?
a
I'm
chance
just out here doing a whole lot of talking.
to rebut it or consider it. I'll have no time during trial to sit down with the experts and assign them to review new information, new reports. I'll have no time to go back and reconsider the order of witnesses
Make
and
time.
information we need or witnesses that we've decided we don't need in this case and scheduling. If it wasn't so obvious this was going to happen, I wouldn't be so upset about it. At some point, the defense has to be held to the same standard of discovery obligation. This isn't late notice. This isn't parachuting in. This is an effort they decided to make and wait until February 7, 2025. Your Honor, I ask you to allow ARCA to testify, allow them to testify to their report, be confined to the report that has met discovery deadlines, and to produce the request that the court ordered regarding discovery of the information that we want. That's what I asked this court to do.
Dang, he's pissed. All right.
Your Honor, what appears to be feigned indignation is just not
Oh, she's happy. She's a little excited.
consistent with the facts.
What is going on?
We didn't receive Judd Welcher's report until basically February 2025. We received a report, I think it was January 31st, 2025, and we read it for the first time the next day on February 1st. Nobody's been dragging their feet. There is no ambush. This feigned indignation is just not consistent with the facts, Your Honor. The court hadn't ruled that we could even use ARCA until just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We've been moving.
I mean, he does make a valid
expeditiously
point.
to try to rebut a witness that the Commonwealth
What the hell?
disclosed
And I'm looking at something else.
in February of 2025. By mid-March, we asked for a TUI request. We asked for a TUI permission, or asked permission to engage them through a TUI request. That does take time. We did it expeditiously. We weren't waiting for some advantage. As soon as we got the request approved, we immediately, that day, engaged them, and immediately that same day provided the Commonwealth notice that we had engaged them, and we intend to use them to, at the very least, to address Judd Welcher's testimony or his reports, the last iteration of which we got on March 24th. So if you want to talk about dates and chronology, what's good for the goose should be equally good for the gander.
All right. He's loving it.
Has been consistently providing us with new discovery after his certificate of compliance has been well done. The ink is well dried.
It's not working.
We have a right, we have an obligation to address and to meet his new discovery. For instance, Judd Welcher's opinions and conclusions, with rebuttal opinions and conclusions, if we can. And I want to make sure that we're not conflating two separate issues. One is the information that ARCA had outside of any of our control. Nobody in this courtroom could have reasonably controlled what information they had.
But you did say that's all listed in the report and there's nothing more.
I was just about to say, the communications that they had with U.S. Attorney's Office, I don't have any access to that. That's confidential. But I do know what they provided to them for their analysis. That is all listed in the report. And both sides have had that from the day we received the reports. the federal disclosures. Both sides have had those. So nobody was in any disadvantage in the first trial, and certainly nobody is at a disadvantage in this trial. We're simply trying to meet our obligations as we could within the confines of the rules that were set up in no small part
How much
by the
more?
federal government. And now those strictures have largely been lifted. And we're moving forward as
I missed out on the chat. Hold on.
expeditiously as we possibly can.
She's definitely trying to do that. Benji out of the bushes.
Rather than addressing their obligations, it's always an attempt to assign blame. The government or the Commonwealth
There he
gave us.
goes with, hold on, Brandon, hold on. I need to read this. Okay. All right. So Jerome is relaxing before he calls it a night. Let's see. Whose jokes? My jokes? Okay. Giving you a countdown yesterday. Yeah. What happened to you, Jerome? What happened to you, Jerome? Jerome just disappeared. What happened to you last night?
Late disclosures.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to shut down some of these tabs, but I'll do that over the weekend. Before Sunday, I've been trying to figure out the best time to come up here. What is the best time? Oh, Sunday. That might be a holiday for some of you. All right, you guys tell me what works best for you on Sunday, and then I'll schedule around that time. Let me know. You guys might be having lunches or dinners or things of that nature. Let me know. Let me know. Because we need to take a look at the actual motions and the rulings by Bev Canoni, or the orders.
Rather than addressing their obligations, it's always an attempt to assign blame. The government or the Commonwealth gave us late disclosures. The changes in Judge Welcher's PowerPoint were by exclusion. Attorney Alisi had concerns about certain.
Shout out to Alisi. I like Alisi.
Things in the report. So we took things out of the report. There's a difference.
So you first provided it.
Dang, he's really heated. What did Bev say?
Of the report. There's a difference.
So you first provided it in November, then you're saying?
No, we provided, pardon me. We provided his CV in November.
Well, there's a black officer.
And then we provided on our discovery deadlines, January 31st, 2025. And then on February 5th, we provided all of the detailed background notes, references. And so we met our discovery deadlines. The changes to Mr. Welch's report have been the complaints, understandably, about what they believed was hearsay or inadmissible. So we removed pieces. There was no new testing. There was no new reports with information changing any of the things.
All right. Come on, Jackson. Dang, what's going on? Use the mic, please. I need you to use the mic. What on earth is going on? This is so odd. I think Jerome infected my I think Jerome infected my Wi-Fi, because my signal was not this bad. This is a first, so maybe it's a video. Maybe it's a video.
Who is much more facile with the facts of what's in Judge Welch's report. That's not quite true. There were additions made to the latest iteration of his report. And Mr. Brennan just admitted that February 5th was the first time that we received all of the information from Judge Welcher. The next month, within a few weeks of that, that's when we received permission to hire ARCA. That's when we received permission to engage ARCA. That's when we provided the individuals at ARCA with everything that we had been provided just the month earlier. So there is no ambush. There's no attempt at taking an advantage vis-a-vis time. It just doesn't, the arguments just don't play, not with the facts and the chronology of what we've been doing and we're continuing to do.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that's it.
I think the only thing left the motion to sequester Aiden Kearney to remove him from the sequestration order. Is that the only thing that's now left outstanding?
No, Your Honor, there's also a motion in limine that was outstanding. It's the Commonwealth's motion in limine to prohibit reference to any pending internal affairs investigations.
Yes, where do we stand with that? I thought that you were going to.
That's
We've
Turtle
had a
Boy.
chance to review the file. If there's any statements that are relevant, we think the defense is entitled to use those statements for impeachment or cross-examination. As far as the rulings, the administrative body's rulings, that should not be permissible. It's an opinion of a third party, and then it will open the door to the explanation that those sustained findings are limited to certain conduct, but don't include other types of conduct, which we would need to rebut. A third party's opinions are not admissible to impeach a witness.
The defense vehemently disagrees with that assertion. That's not the state of the law. We did provide notice to the Commonwealth of what we intended to admit at trial.
Trooper
The Commonwealth
Proctor.
was conversely ordered to provide notice to the defense
I don't know what Proctor's
of
gonna
what
do
they were
after
specifically
this.
asking to keep out. That was supposed to be done 2 weeks ago. I emailed Mr. Brennan the next day after it was due. They did not respond. I was told this morning they're seeking to exclude everything. I would like to be heard on that, Your Honor.
All right, so I don't have a copy of what it is you intend to introduce, right?
No, we provided notice to the Commonwealth, but
So I need that. Do you have it?
I can
She's
articulate
always
to the
been
court.
really
We want to
shaky. I mean,
admit
she seems young though, but she's always been really shaky to me.
the
I think this is their
sustained
video.
findings that have been made against 4 separate officers in this case.
You know what? I do need that in writing. I need this in writing.
Yeah, I know Brooklyn is going to disagree with me because he really likes her, but she's nope. They should have started her off on, I don't know, a common petty theft or something along those lines. She's not
I need a Commonwealth's response.
not the caliber of
We needed to
attorney
have a ruling on this.
for this case. All right, folks, that is it. My connection was a little spotty, but that's just, I don't know. That's just how he turned out. That is just how he turned out. All right. Okay, so Jerome, I guess he fell asleep. All right. Okay. So Fever says around 6 or 7 p.m. Oh, okay. So that will work because I was actually going to come up here earlier. So around 6 or 7, let's go with let's go. Yeah, let's go with 6 p.m. I think that should be decent. I don't plan on going out on Sunday, but yeah, 6 p.m. is good. I'll schedule that. I'll schedule that tonight, and I'm going to schedule it on my. Oh, I probably need to try it out now. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out before I close this laptop because I'm gonna schedule it for my new channel, and it's. Let me add this back up. If you have not subscribed, it's over here. Hold on. Sustained. Dang, why am I not coming up? All right, so it's on my channel. What on earth is going on? There we go. All right. So it's under posts. And then I have a link to my backup channel. Okay. I have a link to my backup channel. For that channel, I want to have much shorter clips. Hopefully, I have time to edit. If I don't have time to edit, at least know that I dreamed. Okay. I dreamed and I planned on doing it. I just did not fulfill. I just did not come through, but I tried. Okay. So Benji said afternoon or morning. So when it's 6 p.m. for us, would that be afternoon for you, Benji? So let's see. Oh, got it. So Allie says that she was a juror in the first trial. Oh, is that what's her name? Victoria George. I don't know what she looks like. Okay, so that's Victoria George. I see why they made her an alternate. She had no business being up there. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, Jerome, I have a backup channel, so just click on that link and we will be live on Sunday. All right, Benji, so that works. We're live on Sunday. I'm going to set it up so it's on the new channel, but if I'm having tech difficulties, because I had to give permission to StreamYard, um, and they gave me, I don't know why I had to wait 24 hours. Anyways, um, so we'll start off. If I run into tech difficulties, I'm just gonna come back up here and live stream on this channel. But yeah, so it's going to be 10. No, it's not 10 p.m. Oh, that would be way too late. It's going to be 6 p.m. Eastern time, okay? And that will be on I Want a Real Lawyer at gmail.com. All right, co-consults, I am out. I'm out. You guys have a fantastic weekend. And then let's reconvene on Sunday. All right. Okay. I'm off. Shout out to all my co-consults. Shout out to everybody. Callie, I hope you're gone and asleep because I don't know why you're up. Oh, but you don't have work tomorrow, so that makes sense. All right, folks. I'm definitely out. I do a whole lot of talking. Good night, you guys.